feeling it. The light is behind them. So evil, fam. How you know your child ain't even dead like that, and you're still you just wanna take him out in some epic ending. Idiot. Absolute idiot. Man actually got that far on fire. I'm expecting a Wilhelm screen here because I know someone is going flying. You can't take these on, they're too big. Look, just powering through. These man look barbaric but savage as hell. These Oliphants are no joke. Look at all the arrows sticking out of them and they're still going. The CGI or the effects, whatever, they look wicked, bro. She is a serious fighter. She basically took one out by herself. Elwyn, you know, maybe Aragorn's got to rethink this, because yo, she's moving like a bad bee. Elwyn is really skilled, I mean, I expected nothing less. I can't even lie. The way she was talking, the way Aragorn was bigging her up.
The grey rain curtain of this world rolls back, and all turns to silver glass.
See what?
White shores.
That was almost like a metaphor for him. You know what I mean? Like you said, the grey curtain. You see the white shores. Basically, like he was Gandalf the grey. That got pulled back. Come back as Gandalf the white. Pippin the white confirmed. Oh, he got mauled up. What? Is that what she's doing, I heckle him Felbies. I can't even lie, I was gonna say, yeah, that mace looks like it would have taken at any shield. Bruh, the blade thing.
I am no man.
Sheesh! Straight in man's face. Alright, let me not lie, yeah. Owen has quickly become one of my favorite characters, I actually really, really like her, Man called upon Legolas, He is the coldest guy to do it. Hey, the whip off screen, there was another one. There was another one. Yo. No way, Legolas took a whole thing by himself.
That still only counts as one. Come on!
Bro, wait. Man was like Legolas. Was like, say no more, I'll do my thing. And he dropped a whole elephant on his ones. Bro, you see that movie he did when he grabbed onto it? That's the same thing he did in Two Towers when he grabbed onto the horse. Hey, nah. Legolas is a little different. He's cut from a different cloth. He's a different kettle of fish. It's a different gravy. Nah, Legolas, you know, raw. I liked him, you know. I did like man like Theoden King. Like at first I was a bit like, oh, like why is he running from the beef in Helm's Deep? But you know, slowly he grew into it. And slowly, you know, he really started to grow on me.
Very handy in a tight spot, these lads, despite the fact they're dead.
You gave us your word. I hold your oath fulfilled. Be at peace.
They would be hella useful because I feel like they were immortal anyway. Like you couldn't really defeat them, but you know, he kept his word, man. He's a real honorable man. No, wait. She didn't die, did she? No, she didn't die though. Unless she was like poisoned or something by the Nazgul. Oh, I was about to say. Okay, I was a bit confused there. Whoa. Man, like Pharaoh, man. Yes, brother. Ah, he's giving her the look, you know.
Come try to knife me! Kill him!
Alright, drop kick. I love a drop kick. These men are just barbarians. Bloody hell.
Not if I stick you first. Sam!
Samwise Gamgee, the #1 rider in all Middle Earth, the #1 wingman, the #1 homie, Samwise Gamgee. Oh, so he had it on him. He took it off him. Either he was scared to give it to him, or the ring was influencing him, saying, no, don't give it to me. No, like he was getting on that my precious sort of vibe.
You must understand. The ring is my burden. It will destroy you, Sam.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. It seemed more like Frodo just was looking out for Sam so much. He didn't want him to have the ring because he knows the pain and he knows how much it will put him through.
I've sent him to his death. No. There's still hope for Frodo.
See how powerful that is? Man like Gandalf is meant to be like the angel, the mayor, the guide, you know, the leader of the opposition. But he had kind of lost hope, and it took Aragorn to actually say, nah, you can do it. Oh, he's pulling on his heart, you know. Wait, that was her vision, wasn't it? I swear that was his Arwen's vision that he dropped the thing.
I do not believe this darkness will endure.
He's been spitting game on the sly, you know. I like Faramir and Erwin, you know. You know what? I'm happy for them. I'm happy for my girl Erwin, you know what I mean? Erwin, sorry, I need to make sure I don't confuse the two. He's a soldier, a fair maiden. After her valiant, after she murked off the leader of the Nazgul, yeah, she can have whatever she wants. She can have me if she wants.
Stand up! It's so heavy.
It actually looks like it's heavy and it's actually weighing him down. Flipping out. They're at the last mile, man, the last leg of the journey from. They just had to give it all, throw away everything, bare minimum, do what they can. I honestly didn't know it was gonna go down this route. Like how cheerful he was before, how he was like fairly fine in the Fellowship. It just seemed like he would be more like the life of the series, but no. When we cut to Frodo and Sam, it's nothing but doom and gloom. It's nothing but pain and agony. I can't even take the mic. I need some water.
I don't think there will be a return journey, Mr. Frodo.
Why don't Gandalf holler at his man, is it Radagast again, and make him send that eagle? So when they're on top of the tower or at Mount Doom, the eagle can come, swoop them up, and just fly away. They can make some serious ground on an eagle. That's how I walk sometimes after a night out. Look at his neck. Oh my days. It's literally piercing into his neck, like the weight of it.
And who is this? Isildur's heir. It takes more to make a king than a broken elvish blade.
He came for war. He said enough of the talking. You're chatting pop. Your breath stink. Come out here. There's probably not many of them, right? Because didn't Theodon King say maybe they have like 5,000, 6,000? Half of what they expected, which was like 10 or 12,000. So their ranks must have been cut in half, long time. So they're severely outnumbered. I was about to say he kept going, boy. You know what I mean? He gave everything he could.
I thought I'd die fighting side by side with an elf.
What about side by side with a friend?
Man like Gimli's respect for Legolas, fam. All that hate probably gone now. Galadriel's probably Galadriel, not Elf Witch anymore. Then again, she's kind of scary, so he might still stick with Elf Witch.
Naked in the dark. There's nothing. No
How the hell did hobbits come from where they were in the Shire to all that to this? Look at them. They're at 2%.
But I can't carry you! Come on!
Man like Samuel. Man said Samuel Samwise, man. Ride or die. Man like Samwise. You gotta name your daughter, you gotta name your son, everything, everyone that come after you gotta be named Samwise after that. Or at least keep the Wise tradition, like Carla Wise or something like that. Because he has been there. He has been Frodo's strength when he's been weak. That is the one consistent thing. Sam has been his strength.
For Frodo.
The hero. He is a hero. And Samwise as well. Gollum! Man, like Gollum's still alive. Oh my days. Wow. He's gotta go, man. Gollum, you gotta go, man. I'm sorry.
Smeagol promised!
Yeah, Smeagol's gone now. He has to go. You have to kill him. The man is thinking he had no strength anyway. Now, man, like Gollum's out here causing havoc. Wait, I called it. I called the eagle. Not in this way, but yo. I am on point. I know I said it in a different form, but I still thought about the Eagles.
Here, Sam.
He's talking with a bit more like strength in his voice. He can't do it. He's having them. I think the ring's in full effect now.
The ring is mine.
No, it got him. It got him. It got him. Oh my days! Oh my days! No, don't tell me Gollum's gonna go down with it. He bit off his finger. Oh, Gollum is a madman. He lost his whole finger. Smeagol actually got it, you know. They're both gonna fall. I knew that was gonna happen. I knew Gollum was gonna fall in with it and die with it. Come on, Frodo. That's it. They won. Jesus. They did it. Bruh, the tower's gone down. They did it, bro. I can't even lie. It feels like such a triumph after all of that craziness they went through. Everything's gone down. So you're telling me the ring's existence was doing like keeping all of this intact? Sauron is truly finished. And I know that God ain't gonna send him back like he did man like Gandalf.
Gandalf's fireworks. The lights.
He's starting to remember everything now. The burden of the ring is gone. Not call it. Did I not say why not just grab an eagle and take them away? Hey, I'm in tune with this movie. I'm in tune. Did it in the end, boy. Just about, but they did it. It's mad how it started off in like the Shire, just at that little tavern thing, and ended up all the way over there. It's so nice to see him smile and happy because we've just spent so long with him being sad. Boring Boromir, man. Rest in peace, Boromir. You should have been here to see it, man. One does not simply have a reunion of the Fellowship without your boy Boromir. Man said the king is back. Aragorn. Oh, look at the tree. There's bare flowers on it now. Ah, these babes are in here. Yes. Yes. His babes is here. His wifey. Get that nonsense out of there. Give it to someone else. Hey, Ghibli, hold it real quick. Rotted in front of the father and everything. I'm happy for my man. I'm happy for him.
You bow to no one.
Rah. Damn. Let's get a little teary-eyed from. So it's a good end to the trilogy, man. You know how powerful it is? Because technically they're always the smallest, but everyone's bowing to them, and now they are the biggest. Do you know what I mean?
13 months to the day since Gandalf sent us on our long journey, we found ourselves looking upon a familiar sight.
That whole journey took an hour, a year and a month. Wow. Like they want to go on another adventure, you know what I mean? Like they've kind of grown from usual hobbits. Do you see that little look about drinks it? Yep. He's thought of a couple lines. He's ready. He's ready. Some wise jam sauce.
And in your heart, you begin to understand. There is no going back.
I feel like this is probably what Bilbo went through. You know what I mean? Like he went on a mad adventure and then he just got bored of this old life. He just wants to go on and explore again. Oh, he's so old. Oh no.
Any chance of seeing that old ring of mine again?
He's still feeding for the ring, you know. That has a lasting effect. Oh my days. Even man's halfway dead, the man's thinking about the ring. So that means if he goes to Valinor, technically he'll be immortal, right? Like he will live forever. Or maybe just like a parting gift, like go on one last adventure, you know.
The power of the three rings is ended. The time has come for the dominion of men.
So the elves, all of the elves are going back to, is it Valinor, I think? And men are just gonna basically run Middle Earth, I guess. It's the age of men now, isn't it? Now they've got a king. So someone told me, yeah, the three rings of the elf rings kind of like extend their immortality and their long life, even away from Valinor and the other gods, where the gods stay and all that. So now they said the powers sort of run out. Does that mean now they have to go back to there in order to sustain and live? Otherwise, if they stay ahead, technically they'll die because the three rings have lost power. Man, like Gandalf, no. Ah, man. Man, like Gandalf. I mean, technically, he doesn't really need to be here anymore. Like, Sauron's gone.
The last pages are for you, Sam.
Oh, he's going with them. Yo. I guess he never really did return, did he? Like, he may have come back from the journey, you know what I mean, to Mount Doom and stuff, but Frodo never really came back. Like he said, it still hurts him, this scar. Like, a piece of him is probably gone now and probably getting there to heal at least. That's one last thing he can do, man. Like, part them with a smile, you know, the usual Frodo smile. Because at least he's going off happy, you know what I mean? Don't tell me he has a daughter.
My dear Sam.
Wow, he's a grown man now. This must be years later. I guess that's the end of the story. Wow. Damn, we did it. We finally have watched Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. What an epic conclusion to a brilliant trilogy, I must admit. Now, when I started watching these, I said I'm going to set out to sort of answer the question, is this one of the best trilogies there is, or is it the best? And I could comfortably say, with a little drum roll, in terms of a trilogy, I think this is the best. And fair enough, I haven't seen that many trilogies, but you know, I'll compare it to some of the better ones. So the Dark Knight trilogy, for example, or Star Wars is probably the closest one, right? And I love Star Wars. I love the Dark Knight. The Dark Knight is probably one of my favorite films. Lord of the Rings, it just wins, man. And obviously, that's no discredit to the other two. I love the other two, but I just feel like Lord of the Rings itself just offers a complete experience. Like, really and truly, right? What didn't this film offer, given the parameters of the genre it's in, when it was made or whatever? It offered everything. We had one complete coherent story. We had a brilliant range of characters. We had a great range of tones. We had good storytelling and visualization, cinematography. We had great music, epic scenes, fights, sadness, depression, everything. Even covered bloody addiction. And it had all of that and it blended it so well. And this movie was just there to round it all up. I felt so satisfied at the end and I nearly came to tears. And I'm not going to say I don't cry on films. I don't really cry on films, but not many films get me like emotional like that, where I'm like, rah. Like, go watch the reaction again. I wonder if you man could tell at the parts I was a bit like, oh, damn, like. Obviously, you know me, I don't like to keep you lot here for too long. So let me get on to some more specific stuff I personally liked, right? Now, the story itself, like the core of the story, there's this evil that needs to be stopped. And, you know, these people band together and stuff. It's nothing in this day and age. And for like my personal experience, it's nothing new. But it's about how they executed it and the journey there. And what I appreciate is the great range of tones this film had to take us on that journey, because the film wasn't afraid to get dark and gloomy and sad. It wasn't afraid to introduce like dark themes and you know, some of the comments you lot told me about the inspiration behind it was just a bit like, yo, wow. And all it did, right, it just added to the enrichment and the fulfillment of the whole story, because we got to see our heroes in a range of scenarios and it was portrayed in a realistic way. Like, one of the biggest examples I bring up and what I said throughout the reaction is, these are hobbits. Nice, loving, crispy bacon, friendly, easy-going creatures who shouldn't be going on an adventure like that, but yet they did. I'm talking the turmoil and the trouble they went through, specifically Frodo and Samwise, is mad. Bro, majority of the films, Frodo was dirty, Frodo was in pain, and the film wasn't afraid to show us that, and I love it. And it just made, right, the conclusion that much satisfying, because it felt like they really went on this journey. And by the end of it, I'm looking back and I'm thinking, raw, how did we get here? How did we get to this specific point from the Shire? How did we get here? And then after thinking that, it's just like, wow, look how far we've come. Look how different everything is from the beginning. And it was so amazing, I can't lie. And this one, boy, it pushed everyone to the edge, right? And I'm talking with Smeagol, I'm talking with Frodo and Samwise, and I'm even talking about the rest of the cast. And because it did push everyone to their limits, it allowed room for these great moments to come through. And the first thing I can think of is when Frodo gave it his all. He just, you know, he tried his best and he was trying to climb and he just collapsed, and that was it. But then, you know, man like Samwise came and picked him up and said, you know, I can't carry the ring, but I can carry you. Like, that moment wouldn't have felt so good and so heartfelt if it wasn't for how they've been portrayed from the Two Towers to this film. Another thing I really liked, and I've kind of mentioned it on the previous point, was the amount of epic moments they had. So some of the ones I haven't mentioned already was Legolas v the Oliphant. Yo, Legolas is overpowered, bro. Just give him a bow and arrow, right? And tell him go fight Sauron, because I think he might be able to take man still, because he is a skilled fighter. How are you in the battlefield and you're seeing these big ass elephants? And man them equals one name, Legolas. Legolas says say no more. drops it raw. And then you have moments like Erwin v the Witch King. I didn't think she'll be able to take a Witch King, I can't lie, or even kill the Fell Beast, but yo. And another thing I do appreciate is this film gave room for other characters to sort of breathe and develop, right? Because Gandalf, in my eyes, took kind of more of a backseat. His presence was, it's like the novelty sort of wore off. He had some good moments, like when he ran out and he shone the light at the Nazgul, cold. But in terms of development of character, I like the fact that, you know, it gave someone like Pippin a bit of time to breathe, and we got a lot more of him. And I called him a fool, I called him childish, and obviously you lot told me, which I forgot, told me that, you know, he's still technically a kid or a teen. Fair enough. But this film gave him extra screen time and allowed him to mature. And I feel like he has matured in this film. Gimli, I know they didn't explore like the elf and dwarf relationship that much, but through his remarks, through his attitude, you could tell, like I said, it runs deep. It's something that we need to go and explore, right? And by the end of it, even though he wasn't like, you didn't get full attention, you still felt like it was a natural growth of his character for him to, you know, really, really look at Legolas as a friend and, you know, kind of get respect for the elves. And one last, probably the most important character growth, and this is kind of like a pun, but it's not, but when they all bowed down to the hobbits at the end and they were the biggest, like, that was absolutely mad. That was so emotional. Like, just think about the symbolism of that. These small creatures that someone said are good at stealth because of how small they are now the biggest. Like, no one bowed. Yo! Hey. Anyway, let's move on. Another thing I like is just the deep lore, right? And I feel like even though they introduced these characters through these films, right? Obviously, some people had seen them from the books, but I'm talking about purely starting Lord of the Rings from the films, right? Off the bat, you can feel how grand the world is, how deep the connections run. Off the bat, you can feel like everyone has their own story to tell. So even though you watch these guys go on a journey, so for example, you watch Aragorn from when he was like the Lone Ranger to him becoming the king, right? It still feels satisfying and it still feels complete, but yet it feels like there's so much more to go and see. A lot of stuff has been present throughout the movies, which, you know, I want to praise and talk about, but I'm just going to keep repeating the point. Like, this film is just mad. It's just like, this whole series is just mad, right? And you know what, right? As I'm thinking about it, obviously the core message of it is all about, you know, fellowship, you know, friendship, you know, being together. Because like I said, they're always together. Samwise was #1 rider. The way it's executed and the way that's brought over, of course, is down to like storytelling and all that. But it's also down to the acting and the people who we're actually seeing on screen. So yeah, I can say, you know, the visual effects, the mass scale effects, everything was great. But I think the core of this movie, right, comes down to the actors as well. Because without it, it can feel a certain type of way, it can feel hollow, whatever. But these man really, I forgot the actors. Personally, if a film makes you even forget the actors or doesn't even make you think, like, wow. And of course you see man like Sean Bean and you know he's gonna die and everything, but still I feel like everyone gave it their all and everyone was their character, and it feels refreshing because a lot of the actors and actresses I don't actually know. I've seen a few, but I don't actually know them, or I haven't seen them in many pieces of work. So they all just felt authentic. They all just felt like new characters. None of them felt like a person playing a character or acting. You know what I mean? So as I said in the beginning, obviously I'm going to give this an unbiased sort of opinion review. And I did feel the length of the extended. I did feel the length. And at times I was like, there are some scenes where I can see may have been cut short or maybe cut out completely. And I was going to say that it kind of drags a little bit. But then I realized, you know, it's the calm before the storm. Because the Two Towers was very action-packed, very on it, very fast-paced. It was something going on all the time. This one was a bit slower, building up that final epic conclusion, which I said was completely satisfying. Of course, I expected it, but it didn't damage my experience with the movie that much. Also, right, I actually would have liked to have seen the other humans fight a bit more. So, you know, Sauron recruited some of the mercenaries and stuff. Before, it was just mainly humans, elves, we're guessing a dwarf, fighting like orcs and Uruk-hai and all that. So it would have been interesting to explore them fighting other humans, because it would have blurred the line between the good guys and the bad guys. Because obviously how this film really depicted it was the bad guys are more like creatures and stuff, and obviously the good guys were like humans, and elves are more like normal looking folk. But now, other than that, man, I don't have much complaints. Like, as a final rating, I would give this one an 8.6, maybe 7. 8.7. I got 8.7. Now, you lot might have noticed that that wasn't actually the highest rating I've given any of the Lord of the Rings films, and that has gone to The Two Towers. Personally, The Two Towers was just my favorite. I just had so much fun with that film. From Gandalf coming back, to the Battle of Helm's Deep, to the last march of the Ents, like, yo, mad, I can't even lie. But no, guys, it's been a blast watching this, man. Like I said, my favorite trilogy so far, man. I'm going to get on to watching any more, so if you might want to recommend some trilogies that you think are comparable or I should at least watch, let me know. Thank you lot for coming on this journey. Of course, it's not over, so please stick around, because I'm going to be watching some behind the scenes stuff. I'm going to be watching some of the scenes I missed out, maybe seeing whether I think, oh yeah, that should have stayed in, or, you know, whether it changes everything completely, you know, just giving my thoughts and opinions. And obviously I will then be going on to watch The Hobbit. So if you lot want to see that, please stick around, man. We've got some good content coming. And yeah, thank you lot for all your replies, your education, your comments, you lot teaching me stuff, all your support. Like, this, doing The Lord of the Rings has been the most fun I've had on YouTube. And I know I've only been there, 6 months, but it's just been so engaging. It's just been a whole complete different experience. Like, you lot have welcomed me into your fandom, and it's just mad, man. And so yeah, thank you lot. It's been your boy Slider Gray, and we out.